You ever get that feeling that everything you buy is just designed to break? That we're stuck in a world of disposable junk and the good old days of quality are long gone? It's a super frustrating feeling, right? Well, today, we're cutting through all that noise. We are on a mission to find the things that are still built to last. So, let's get into it.
Not too long ago, we talked about how so many of the brands we all used to trust have been totally hollowed out. Their quality was sacrificed for profit, you know? They literally started replacing steel gears with plastic ones, engineering products with a built-in expiration date. It's a practice that's left a lot of us feeling pretty ripped off.
And that really leads to the one question that everybody is asking. If the brands we grew up with can't be trusted anymore, is there anything left on the market that's actually made to last? Or are we just stuck buying garbage forever?
Well, today, we are going to answer that question. We've put together what we're calling the Forever List. These are the specific brands, the products that have flat out refused to sell out. Yeah, they might not be the flashiest, but they are built to be owned and repaired, not just rented and replaced.
So here's the plan. We're going to look at laundry machines, small engines, boots, cookware, and hand tools. And then we'll wrap it all up with the big idea behind this whole thing, the buy it for life philosophy.
Okay, let's kick things off with one of the biggest purchases you'll probably make for your home. You walk into a modern appliance store, and it's like a minefield of fragile machines. But there is a way to get off that hamster wheel of replacement.
On one side, you've got what I call the spaceship. You know the one, all touchscreens and Wi-Fi, but inside it's full of cheap plastic parts and sealed bearings that are basically designed to fail. But on the other side, you have the tank, the Speed Queen TC5. It does not look fancy, but it has a steel transmission and parts you can actually get and repair. Some folks say it washes clothes with, quote, violence, but I'll tell you what, it'll still be running long after those digital spaceships are sitting in a landfill.
So yeah, the name to remember here is Speed Queen. And get this, you're not really buying a consumer appliance, you're buying the exact same machine they use in commercial laundromats, just, without the coin slot. It's an industrial tool for your home.
All right, let's move out to the garage, maybe the backyard. Whether we're talking about generators or pressure washers, that little engine is the heart of the machine. And just like with washing machines, there's a huge gap in quality. Most of the equipment you buy today uses these cheap clone engines that barely make it a couple of seasons before the carburetor gets all gummed up. But the real kicker is getting parts. With a clone engine, if a pull cord snaps, the whole machine is basically toast. But with a Honda GX series engine, you can still get parts from model from 1985. Their engineering is just legendary, and they just work.
Think about it. When you're in an emergency and you need that generator to start, you do not want to be gambling. A Honda engine is designed with one thing in mind: reliability. It's built to respect you, your work, and most importantly, your time.
Okay, next up, something you might wear every single day. We tend to think of shoes as disposable, but a really good pair of boots shouldn't be an expense. It should be a long-term, rebuildable asset.
So how in the world can a boot be an asset? Well, the secret is a construction method called the Goodyear welt. Instead of just gluing the sole on, which is cheap and never lasts, this method actually stitches the sole to the boot. It's like the difference between a house with a proper foundation versus a tent that's just staked to the ground. One is permanent, the other is temporary. This one thing is the key to making a pair of boots last a lifetime.
And here's how it works. When you wear down the tread, you don't throw the boots away. You take them to a cobbler, and they just snip the old stitches, pop off the worn-out sole, and stitch a brand new one on. And you know the best part? A pair of perfectly broken-in leather boots with a fresh sole feels better than anything you can buy new off the shelf. So if you're looking for boots built like this, two names pop up again and again: Thorogood, especially their American Heritage line, and the Red Wing Heritage line. Look, a $300 pair of boots that lasts a decade is way cheaper than a $100 pair you have to replace every single year. All right, let's head into the kitchen, where for decades we've been sold a huge lie: this promise of effortless, non-stick cooking. Those modern non-stick pans with their chemical coatings, they're a total trap. They're so fragile, you make one wrong move with a metal fork and the surface is shot. And after a few years, that coating starts flaking off right into your food. The alternative is simple, it's ancient, and it's basically indestructible: cast iron. A cast iron pan just gets better the more you use it, building up a natural, non-stick surface without a single chemical.
And you don't even have to look hard to find it. The brand Lodge has been making cast iron in Tennessee since the 1800s. You can go out and buy one of their skillets for like $30, and you can throw it in a campfire, scrape it with steel tools, and then pass it down to your grandkids.
It's really the ultimate rebellion against our throwaway economy. And finally, let's talk about hand tools. We've already gone over how iconic brands like Craftsman kind of sold out. So if you need a tool that is not going to fail you, where do you even turn?
Well, you have to look for the companies that are still forging their own steel right here in America. For pliers, the name is Channellock. Their high-carbon steel and laser-treated teeth, they bite into a pipe and they just do not let go. For wrenches and sockets, you got to check out Right Tool. Their special Right Grip design actually puts pressure on the flat sides of a bolt instead of the corners, so you get way more torque without stripping it. These are tools made for doing work, not for a marketing campaign.
So as you can probably see from all these examples, this is about way more than just buying nice stuff. It's really about adopting a totally different mindset. It's about a philosophy that values permanence way more than it values convenience. This whole buy it for life idea, it's not just about saving money over time. It's a conscious decision to opt out of this endless cycle of buying stuff and throwing it away. It's about breaking your dependency on these huge corporations that just want you to keep buying replacements. It means choosing to repair, to maintain, and to take real, genuine ownership of the things in your life.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that the most expensive thing you can buy is the thing you have to buy twice. What if we just stopped buying the marketing and the plastic, and instead we invested in the iron, the leather, and the steel? What if we chose to build a life that's actually designed to last?